In our essence, if we peel everything away, is this wide open, awakened awareness that embraces everything. Once we touch into that, it's expressed as love. It's always here, always present.
It's the very force that can support us to soften and deepen and trust life itself and its unfolding.
Sometimes we refer to the ground of this as awakened wholeness, and sometimes we refer to it as awakened wholeness love. It's described as a wide open sky full of sunlight and warmth. When you awaken to this nature, you naturally want to express it. That is the love that arises out of that field. And so it's all about love, baby. So many of us, and so many parts of the world and in human society, lives in a state of fragmentation, lives in a state of conflict and a state of misunderstanding.
Sitting with another who's really struggling and suffering, sometimes I can feel the way I could be drawn into that suffering through my care and compassion. If I can orient from this deeper ground, there's actually a little bit more room for both of us to seek a deeper healing, to sense a possibility that may not be felt in the experience of darkness.
If we look at the meta-crisis of the challenges that we're facing, you can live in, as Zach Stein says, a kind of post-tragic orientation in which you hold all of the potentialities and you bring optimism to it, and you write the story that you want to write from your heart.
If we recognize that each of us is a fractal of the whole, how we relate to one another really matters. We can reflect to each other who we truly are.
Home to me in this moment feels like I can be sitting here with Abigail, surrounded by cameras and lights, and just feel like there's nothing to do, there's nowhere to go, there's nothing to say. It's a feeling of being at rest.
As people are in their own becoming, healing, wholeness journeys, the moment they awaken to something, the moment they receive something, the very next move is to want to offer it back to the world and to others.
This model of awakened wholeness has at the ground of it the realization that we're already whole, that we're already awakened, but also shows 7 different dimensions of unfolding. Each of these 7 facets represents a kind of potential for human existence. Awakening, integration, complexity capacity, embodiment, soul expression, intimacy and relationship, and collective.
The model itself we developed out of the practices that we've been engaging with, so it's an expression of our learning.
Part of what we're exploring in our work is how do they integrate, how do they interpenetrate and interweave, and what is life like when we actually address ourselves in this holistic way.
Perhaps by being developed to mature in one area, it can actually place other areas a little bit in shadow or into blind spots. When we're working with others in community, we're getting reflections and feedback, and that helps to point to the parts of ourselves that might need a little bit more attention.
All models, in a sense, are empty and open, and a story that we tell about what's happening, but this is a really helpful story.
In these films, we're going to be taking a journey into each of these 7 facets of awakened wholeness and learning about the territory, opening into it together, and just deepening what's possible. In the process of walking that path together, we contribute to creating the sacred beauty that we come to discover as our true home.